Okay, well, we've got one that just rolled in today from Bestech, courtesy of White Mountain Knives. Thanks to Justin up there in New Hampshire. This is the Bestech Penguin. Bestech Penguin. Seems like we've got a lot of pelicans and penguins from different manufacturers these days. This is Bestech's offering, and right off the bat, another Bestech that I like a lot that I did a review on recently is the Mako. A couple of really nice knives, similarly sized, very much so. This one's a little more massive, the Mako, and the thickness of the blade. But they're, although the blade shapes are different, they're made somewhat similarly. Let's back out a little bit so we can show you a nice deep carry pocket clip. Kind of a stamped steel pocket clip, but they work very well. Smooth withdrawal from the pocket. We have a back spacer that runs half the length of the handle. Milled G10, a little bit of jimping in there, and actually it's fairly aggressive jimping. Grabs you pretty good. Got a nice thumb ramp, not real aggressive, but usable. Got a sharpening choil, not really a finger choil. Got a nicely designed grip, place for the index finger and for the rest of the fingers to just sort of find their way. Two-tone G10 handle. Very, very beautiful transition here. You don't even know that there's two materials there. So we've got a black G10, we've got in this case an olive G10. They make this in black and a brighter blue, and they make this in black and a audacious orange, which I try to avoid. Got a beautiful soft satin finish on the blade. With here's the penguin's beak, sort of. You can look at it that way. It has a little bit of the look of the Steel Will Plague Doctor, doesn't it, if you know that knife? But the top is contoured differently. So the neat thing is, you can, let me use the left hand, beautiful cross palm grip. So on an angle traversing the palm, it fits perfectly. You can jack it back into more of a hammer grip. You can use it in a reverse grip, edge out. Not very comfortably edge in, but it's possible. You can extend the thumb fully and place it in that little pocket, although there's no jimping there. But if you're the type of person that likes to use the knife with the thumb extended way out, you can. It's a D2 steel blade. There is the maker's mark there, Bestech. No other markings, so it's pretty clean. I like them that way. You get to enjoy the blade and not look at all the advertising. As I say, very ergonomic handle. Back spacer. Lanyard hole for you lanyard buffs. And the clip is not changeable to the other side because it is milled out in here in the handle for the clip. Now, one thing I had to do with this is it had a very stiff D10. I didn't think I could even open it right out of the box, and that's fairly unusual because the Mako wasn't that way at all. So broke it all down, cleaned it, oiled it. I bent back the liner spring a little bit, took some tension off, and now opens rather nicely. Yes, it can be failed. Nope. I must have done a little better than I thought. Nope, can't fail it. Just barely. So it swings out there. But with some energy, it's definitely a really nice snapper. And check that out. Just about drop shutty. Does run on bearings. And again, deep carry pocket clip. Comfortable knife, great working knife. You're talking like, after the discount, about 55 bucks for this thing. D2, if you like D2. The Mako is also D2. Nope, well, it's D2, but they call it K110. So K110, this question came up on the Knife Junkie Thursday Night Knives earlier this week. What is K110? Well, K110, according to Knife Steel Compositions, a good source, is a Bowler-made D2. So it's made in Sweden, Swedish D2, and they call it K110. So you can see that on the Mako, right up there. And you can see the D2 marking. So it's probably Chinese D2 on the Penguin. Keep wanting to call it a Pelican. Pretty sure it's a Penguin. Let's do some size comparisons. Griptilian. And I'm not going to comment. Your eyes will tell you the truth. We'll get to our measurements in a moment, since I overlooked those. The Freak. And Ontario Rat 1. It's right up there with the Rat 1 for size. Let's bring out the infamous caliper here. Wrong measurement. Millimeters. About 3.5 millimeters, 3.4. Handle thickness, 0.59, call it a 0.6. It's a nicely contoured handle. Got some nice milling work there and up there. Kind of an arrow-shaped pommel, trending towards a point, not really being a point. Had my magnet just come off. Okay. So, full length of the knife overall is just shy of 8.5 inches. I'd say 8 3/8, thereabouts. Blade length of 3 5/8. Cutting edge, roughly 3.5, a little shy of 3.5. So, as far as the size goes, really is comparable to the Mako. The Mako tends to have just a little longer blade, though. It's closer to 4 inches. 3 7/8 or thereabouts. And overall, close to the same, about 8.5, a little more than 8.5. So Mako's a slightly larger knife. Definitely thicker blade stock. They're both very smooth now. The Mako is smooth out of the box. The Penguin is now nice and smooth. And there you have it. The Bestech Penguin in D2. Catch you all soon. Be sure to give this a like and subscribe. This old sword, signing out once again.